The voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. A Tuesday morning, AccuWeather says sunshine mixed with some clouds, a high of 85 degrees. Downtown Indiana right now, it is 63. And in the studio with us this morning, Indiana County Commissioners Chairman Mike Keith. On the line with us this morning, Robin Gorman, another of our Indiana County Commissioners. Sherene Hess unavailable to us today. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Todd.
Good to have you with us both. Mike, we're going to start with Robin this morning.
That'll be fine.
Robin, I know that you and Mike and Sherene have been working on a number of issues for the county commissioners. A lot of it has to do with pandemic relief and the various hoops that you have to jump through. What's going on with you this morning?
Yep. In fact, most recently, the commissioners gathered to really start to talk about prioritizing a process of how we're going to reach out to our community to get input about the, highest needs to the lowest needs. So regarding the American Recovery Plan, we have made we've tried to communicate very well that we are working very closely and trying to with our townships and boroughs because of them getting their own pots of money and wanting to leverage those dollars and take them as far as we can for the needs we have. So we don't want to overlap or be redundant or get to a point where they've done a project and we said, well, we wish we had talked first so that we could leverage your dollars further with what we have and so forth. Because a lot of these areas of need are going to overlap or duplicate. So that's our first starting point, is continue to open our communications and be in sync with them. The second part is we have a fabulous amount of people across this county, as everybody knows, in boards and authorities and nonprofits like our ICAP and United Way and, the homeless shelter, the Drug and Alcohol Commission, the water authorities, the waste management. So, our transit authority, all of these people and groups that are out there working for us every day, we want to reach out to them and say, we would like you to talk to your boards. We would like your input about the needs that you have and see across the county. It's another way of reaching out to all of our residents as much as possible. And then we talked about how are we going to reach out. We talked about doing some radio shows, maybe some talk shows with our folks, reaching out and asking them for input, and also town halls. So just the average citizen that might not serve on something or that's out there and wants input to let us know what their needs are, we plan on having some town halls as well.
That's a lot of stuff. Mike, you and I were talking a couple of moments ago about the fact that, we hear about money amounts coming in for this or for that, and we sort of have the impression that somebody came in with a bag full of money, threw it on a table and said, go ahead, go at it. It's not as easy to get to those funds even when they've been allocated because there are a lot of, we use the term hoops to jump through, lanes to go down. There's a lot of things that have to happen in order to get these monies to where they need to go to be the most helpful.
Right, and what Robin had mentioned about the municipalities actually receiving their part of the fund, there's a different challenge here for us than what we did last year for the CARES funding. We've asked our municipalities to actually go out and apply for these funds. And some of them actually came back to us and said, we don't have anything that we can use it for. And it's like, yes, you can. You just don't understand all the provisions yet. And let's get the money in first. And then after we get the money in, then once the provisions are actually settled, and they're still actually changing them as we speak, once we get those provisions and we understand them, then let's work together, county government, local government, to make sure that we can actually, this is what Robin mentioned about, we work together to make sure that we actually are able to get those funds across to the entire residents of Indiana County. Yeah. And that's going to be our challenge, but we have until 2024 to actually make these projects happen, and 2026 to actually get the money spent for these projects. So we will make sure that this happens.
Yeah, one of the things that we recall from our discussions with Lisa Spencer about the ERAP program is sometimes there are deadlines that are placed and we don't understand why they are. It's just someone decided, okay, let's put this deadline in place here, and then otherwise you're going to have returned some funds. But this is a much broader capability if you have until 2024. Still, it's not a time to lag. The funds are there. Let's see what we can do about getting them into the right hands. Right.
Right. And again, we have to keep up on these provisions, and we do this weekly with the different people out there who actually are feeding us the different provisions.
Yeah. What are some of the other issues that we're talking about today from a county level? Because there are always things going on within the county that we might not understand. And we might get to a commissioner's meeting and here's an announcement of something that has happened and or something that is coming, but we haven't been inside those discussions to learn all the preparatory work for a grant award, for a program announcement, all of these different things. So what are the commissioners talking about right now?
Well, one of the things we actually, and it doesn't have to do with grants or anything, but one thing we are actually starting here in a couple of weeks, and it's hard to believe, but next year's budget. We are actually have been preparing to send out to our department heads their budgets for next year. And the process basically is we send out the budget that are numbers set and everything, the worksheets. They work their numbers and everything. In September, 1st of September, we actually start our budget hearings. And that's actually sitting down as commissioners with our department heads and figure out, where we're going to be next year and what our numbers are going to be. So it's a difficult process, and usually they start in September. We start in August because, again, we don't want to be at the last minute, playing with the numbers. We want to make sure they're right and going forward. And there's a lot of challenges we have, but this year I actually think there's some opportunity for us in our budgets.
Yeah. Robin, what's on your desk calendar?
Well, Todd, I'm going to probably go behind the scenes a little bit and bring out to our community something my colleague won't probably tell a lot of people. So last year, I suffered a great loss in my personal life, and I sort of struggled to get my feet under me and get moving and get my energy going in this position because it was meant to be. And my colleague carried a huge ball for all of us in the county. And Mike is, with his township supervisor experience and so much emergency management, manufacturing background, he gets the ground running, particularly with our budgets. And we had said we're going to work with all of our directors. We're going to become part of their teams, really understand how they operate, support them, and help them deliver services as good as they always have and better going forward. So in all of that, Mike opened the door with the budget hearings, and really, I don't think we ever stop working with our directors on their budgets year-round. But what it allows is for us to see the years of, Mike often describes county as one huge company with lots of departments that serve a lot of needs. So, and they're often not fancy topics that anybody wants to talk about, but they are the most vulnerable services that our community needs desperately. So you talk about our largest department, Children and Youth Services, our domestic relations area, our county jail, our emergency management agency, our coroner, our veterans, our voting, our planning and economic department. These are all people out there every day. When somebody like at the recent Jimmy Stewart Airport show asked me from outside the county, like, what's a county commissioner do? And when you start to talk about all of the things that our directors are doing every day with their people and serving the needs of our county, we are extremely proud. But Mike and I have taken on this issue of how many commissioners in the past have really helped update their facilities, update their workplaces, pay attention to what makes them want to come to work in a good environment every day, and their employees, and how well are they addressing succession management and changeover. And with the issues of the workforce going forward, how do we retain the talent, and how do we replace the talent when we need to and think more effectively? Because good people, as we know, across this nation to be part of our workforce are getting harder and harder to find. Yeah. So I want to just say thanks to Commissioner Keith because he has just been amazing. We continue to work with all of our directors across this county, and we hope that they're looking at that as a very positive thing for their operations. because we often sort of laugh and say, don't know how long we're going to have in this position, but while we're here, we're going to try and do good things. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that updating our facilities, keeping our people in place, and continuing to deliver quality services to our residents that are going on all the time that nobody sees.
Yeah, yeah. Can't let you out of here, and we only have a few moments left, but I can't let you out of here without an update on broadband. People really want to know, where do we stand? What's the progress? And for those who don't yet have broadband, they're thinking to themselves, all right, how do I get in line and when's my turn? I think that's the number one question. So either one of you, if you'd care to tackle that one.
Well,
I'm going to let Mike address that because I intentionally did not talk about broadband this morning because I felt like we keep talking about it.
Well, again, for those who are still looking for broadband, we encourage you to call our planning office and leaving your address and everything because construction plans, they're continuing. And this year, our construction, again, we're putting for approximately $3 million. As we said at our press conference a few weeks ago, and that $3 million construction is going to be put out for bid here very soon. And then after that, as we said before, we're going to make a commitment, and we're going to continue that commitment through our term. And again, it's something that everybody needs, and it's going to, once we get it out there, it's going to take time, and it's going to take lots of money. So again, patience is a virtue. And that's all we ask, and we will get there. I promise you.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the broadband. Yes, Robin.
I would like to mention two events this week because I don't want to get off here without our public being invited. They are all invited to these two events. Mm-hmm. So this Thursday at 1:30, we are having our Conservation District ribbon cutting out on Hamel Road, and we invite anyone who would like to attend that to come. That's very exciting for our future and an asset to us. And then Friday is our annual Indiana County Day at Idlewild Park. And I've been amazed over the years the amount of people of Indiana County that show up down there and bring their families and have a really good time. And we have a booth, and we celebrate, the Christmas tree capital of the world, and our tourist bureau will be there. So please come out.
Yeah.
And then while you're up there at the ICTC complex, just take a look at Westmoreland Community College. It's the building is fantastic. I mean, you actually can see what's going on. And right around the corner, whether we like it or not, but Indiana Fair is just right around the corner.
Yay!
Well, we like
so
it.
Happy about that.
We've missed it, so it'll be great to have it going once again. Mike Keith in the studio, Robin Gorman on the phone. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Fox News coming up.